89 is back for the 2025 season. We're gonna do something that we've never done before, and this is kind of outside the box, but kind of a little bit similar to what people have been doing. Steve, everybody comes out with their tiers, right? I talked to Mike Sando the other day, came out with his quarterback tiers over at the Athletic, and we're gonna do tiers 89 style. And we have some different categories, Steve. The first one is the I'm sorry tier.
Oh.
Okay. I'm sorry, but you need to show me a little something more this season.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry tier is not an indication that a guy can't play.
Exactly.
It really has to do with we are expecting some things, but some unforeseen circumstances have possibly derailed this guy, and so
yeah. But I'm sorry, we got to see it. I want to see it, right? Yeah. I want to see it, but we got to see it. Now, I don't know who you've put in these tiers. This is blind to me. So, who's in the I'm sorry tier? I need you to show me a little bit more to get on this list.
For me, I hate doing this. But off the bat, it has to be, I'm sorry. You need to show me something, is Brandon Aiyuk.
Okay.
Because we know what Brandon Aiyuk brought to the San Francisco 49ers when he was holding out for his contract, what he did the year prior, 2023, ran every route in the route. He was really helping that offense and was critical to helping Brock Purdy solidify his place in the league because of Brandon Aiyuk, and then having a Deebo Samuel, where those guys, that Deebo was kind of the playmaker, but the route runner was Brandon Aiyuk. I'm sorry, because I want to see from Brandon Aiyuk, how does that knee hold up? Has he lost any speed? How long is it going to take him physically and mentally to get back into the swing of things and up to speed in football? When I say up to speed, I'm talking about the ability to slow down your mind, and you're not thinking as you're running these routes. You're not thinking, this is the route in which I hurt my leg. So
that's what I was going to say. Where does the injury come into that thinking, right? And how it's connected?
When I broke my ankle, I broke it on an underneath route.
Okay.
Every time I ran underneath routes, I had in the back of my mind, it was like, when I got to the second hash, if you didn't throw the ball, I did not make myself available. I would go back downhill towards the line of scrimmage, because no quarterback is going to throw to a receiver who's going back towards the line of scrimmage. They're not going to get that negative catch. And I knew that. And so I was also protecting myself because I had post-traumatic stress of what I experienced the last time I ran this route, which is I just broke my ankle and and I tore the ligaments in the inside and outside of my leg. Well, no big deal. And they put a rod and 7 screws in.
Oh, 7 screws. That's a lot.
And a year later, they had to remove it because it was actually working its way out and through my skin.
The screws?
The screw.
It's early in the morning for that.
So my point is,
it's like Saw stuff. Yeah.
You don't know how a guy is gonna bounce back from an injury. It's not a guarantee that everything will be smooth sailing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And here's the deal: Brandon's got a lot of love on this show in the past.
Oh, I love Brandon Aiyuk.
He really has. I mean, you go back to 23. I mean, the dude had over 1,300 yards. I mean, he can put up some numbers. When I talked to some people around the league, Steve, it was kind of this, a lot of what they do is schemed up, right? That's what Kyle does, and guys get schemed open. He has been their route runner, though. If they do want to try to win one-on-one, it's usually used with Brandon Aiyuk, right? Yes. And then a lot of other stuff is schemed. One DB coach did joke. He said, we did put our clamps on him, though, I'm not gonna lie, but we got a true number 1. So he's like, but he can run routes, so we need to see the recovery back from the injury. All right, who else is on the I'm sorry list?
And I hate doing this to him.
You're struggling with this.
I am. I might get a lot of hate mail.
It's a buildup. Electronic, probably. Nobody's putting a stamp on anything these days. Nobody's mailing anything.
Garrett Wilson.
Ooh, I did not see that coming. Now, I want to ask you, is this related to his situation at all that he has been playing through in his career, quarterback-wise?
Yes. Okay. That is exactly, I don't know if it's AI or it's real. Okay. But have you seen the miss Aaron throws by Justin Fields? Have you seen some of those throws on social media?
You think it might be AI?
Well, first because he's black, so I'm gonna hit with the theory. They trying to hold us back. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm coming in this season, no holds bars. I'm gonna tell you how I feel, but I'm also gonna say I don't believe it. Nope.
Okay.
And so why I have him as I'm sorry tier. I'm sorry you have another quarterback, another offense, and another head coach, a whole new coaching staff to some degree, philosophy.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how that's going to impact your game.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, but I say this, he still has put up like numbers.
He had.
He really has. I mean, he's got three seasons with over 80 and 1,000. That's the most in Jets history already.
And how is that going to shake out based off the things we're seeing out of Justin Fields in the game? We watched the game too.
Think about this though. He does know Justin from college. They played at the Ohio State University together.
They sure did.
So they do have a pre-existing relationship. I do know there's a lot of trust there between the two.
There is
I'm not sure if it's AI or not, about balls getting airmailed or not. They wanted Justin. They did really go at him aggressively. They actually kind of outbid the Steelers, who were willing to come back to Justin Fields for this season. So they wanted him. We'll see if this quarterback change in relationship changes for him. But he has had up and down type of quarterback play. How do you go through that when everybody in the league knows you're a talented receiver? Yeah. This happened to you. And the quarterback play is kind of up and down, and you got to adjust to that? You got to deal with that? What happens?
You have to deal with it because it is what it is. It's happening and going on right in front of you.
Yeah.
What can be distracting is you can allow the bad quarterback play to affect you professionally to where you start to run your routes and your level of engagement around the facility is now based on performance.
And there were some button heads between him and Aaron Rodgers. That's no secret.
In that that's fine. I mean, they're two human beings. I love Garrett.
Okay.
But I'm scared to see how it's going. If Justin Fields is off target, that's going to be tough treading for the New York Jets because Aaron Glenn has brought that philosophy that Detroit has, and it's predicated on the quarterback making good decisions, quick decisions, and on-time decisions, consistent. And let's be honest, when we put all those categories together, that is not Justin Fields' MO.
Okay. I mean, they're going to run the shit out of the ball too. I mean, they are going to run it crazy.
You could take away about 5 catches now.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. He had a career high last year, over 100 catches. Who was the quarterback? Over 1,100 yards.
Who was the quarterback?
Last year? Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you. Aaron Rodgers ain't there.
Back into the year, he played pretty well. I'm not going to lie. I think A-Rod did play well. I'll say this. I talked to one DB coach. Steve said he's nice. Like, I really like his game. Could have a little more detail to his game. This was said by a DB coach. I wish he was in a better situation. So that goes right with what you're saying. Said he has really nice attributes to his game. He's fluid, quick, and this might be needed, can make a lot of acrobatic catches. Because his body control is really, really good.
It's crazy.
It really is. I remember CJ Stroud telling me that last year in the locker room. Just his body control and the way he can contort and get to balls is really good. He might need that with what you're describing. But he did say, if you're talking from a pure talent standpoint and pure athletic gifts, I'm going to take the young boys over him and say like Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors.
See?
So... But again, like really, like there's no slight to his game, really.
No. The slight to his game has to do with his circumstances.
Exactly. So are those the two you have for the
Those are
starting
the
tier?
two. Those are the two
Okay.
I have, but I do have a one-trick pony.
Oh, I was told a one-trick pony when I gave this animal list
Yeah.
to DB coaches. One guy said this is a one-trick pony. One-trick pony, good enough to be a weapon, could be a really good weapon, but skill set is limited. One-trick
Okay.
pony, you got who?
Josh Downs.
Oh, okay.
Because he plays in the slot, and he was playing in the slot with Anthony Richardson as a quarterback. Now the question is, since Danny Dimes is the new quarterback, is the starting quarterback, I think this votes well because he will be in the slot primarily, but he will have the opportunity. Josh Downs will have the opportunity to show his run after catch ability because we know cotton picking well, Danny Dimes is looking for an exit ramp every time pressure comes. And that would imagine, so when he's looking for that, his check down, his go-to guy is going to be Josh Downs because, Alex Pierce downtown.
I throw another guy in there, though, that he's going to compete for these check down targets.
Okay.
Tyler Warren. That first-round tight end they got.
Yeah.
I can see him getting some of that love, the yards after the catch, the
Yeah.
physicality. I can see that being designed up to help out Danny Dimes, too. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's why I have Josh Downs. He's going to be primarily in the slot. He can't play all over the field, but he can if he's in the slot because you got Michael Pittman, big target. Alec
Big
Pierce.
target.
Alec Pierce, he can run outside. You got the tight end. And then they're running the football, so that only leaves room for Josh to just really get active in between the hashes, in between the numbers. I don't see a lot of him. I don't see him being outside much.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's still going to get his, right? See, he led them in catches last year.
Yeah.
So it's there, but they had no tight end production. I think they were dead last in tight end production.
So so if he leads them in reception, I believe he can lead them in yards after catch and impact the way he was at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he can all of a sudden be shifty and take a little out route or a little option route, take it to the house.
I like that. Is it weird that I kind of think the Colts might be a little better than people think if they get like consistent quarterback play out of Danny Dimes? That's a reach, but we'll see what happens. I mean, that's a winnable division. Listen, I got one-trick pony here.
Oh.
And I didn't call him a one-trick pony. It was said to me as I was going through receivers, and a DB coach said, that's a one-trick pony.
Who is
ready?
that? Yeah, I'm all ears.
DK Metcalf.
Ooh! I did not say that. It is not thou.
Here's what he said. He's like, you have to respect it, though. Like, he's
Facts.
like, you can put him outside, and he's going to run 3 routes.
Tree?
He's like, but you still have to respect all 3 routes. And you're going to have to win in the air against him because that is a grown man that is going to consistently win. Now, he's like, there's not a lot to worry about, but there's plenty to worry about, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to defend it, though. But he's like, he is going to just go out there and run you those 3.
What throws it off, too, he'll throw a little hezzy up in there, a little remix, a crossover.
Yeah. Get you a little bit?
Yeah, he didn't got a lot of it. That's why he didn't got paid.
The other thing that was said, though, Steve, is it's similar. And I brought up the soccer reference because it is kind of true. Like, you can be so good at one thing, it's borderline unstoppable. Yeah. So it's
Shaq
not.
Shaq was a great example. He couldn't shoot a free throw, but dunking, playing defense, crashing the boards, nothing wrong with that. He only won a couple of NBA championships, in the MVP. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, what do you know? Let's go to Wise Owl, Steve. This is maybe, like I said, your most athletic, productive days are probably behind you, but at the same time, you still got to be a concern. you still can make plays. You can still be of value to an offense, for sure. Who do we have in the wise owl? And every time I say this, by the way, I keep thinking of that owl in the Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop commercial.
Oh, no.
I think that's
now. 3.
Okay. 3.
Davante Adams.
Oh, okay.
Davante Adams for me, because I struggled with this when I was a player, but I see it and accept it more and more now as an analyst and a podcaster, is your age makes you old. Because they're
deep. That's deep.
The reason I say that is because in football is so ass backwards from reality, right? When you are, like Davante Adams is here, right? He gets drafted from Fresno, and I like to say, I was rehabbing on the treadmill in Baltimore when he was on a visit in Baltimore, and I remember seeing him, and I stopped him. I said, yo, that's the kid from Fresno State.
Really?
And when I saw him, he remembered that I looked back like, yo, that kid can play. And he remembered me looking back like, does he really know me?
Been scouting and knowing receivers since he was playing, Steve
Yes,
Smith.
And so Davante, just like life, right? So a non-football player, you go to college for 4 years or, junior college, whatever your profession is. You go, and about 30 years old, you start to figure out, because 20-something, you're going, okay, let me get this first job coming out of college. And
entry level, it might be.
Entry level, I get upgraded. I get
promotions.
I get promotions. I get offered by other people, so I move around. But about 30, you start to realize this is what I want to do. And you start to hit that peak where this is my career. I am building it. I'm making money. I'm good. And
I'm stacking years. I'm getting better.
Stack it. And then at some point, it'll plateau, right? Where you just, it's turnkey, it's on autopilot.
Yeah.
Boy, in the National Football League, it's the opposite. You start off at the top. Soon as you get drafted, you getting $20 million guaranteed or whatever the case is, and they're telling you how good you are. And every year after that, they're drafting someone else younger to replace you for cheaper. And so technically, you do this. But what happens, the older players, we start to, as we decline, we're in the corporate world, you're ascending, and it's just, and so that's why I see Davante Adams as a wise owl, where his age is saying that he shouldn't be putting up these numbers. He's not. You remember when I was playing in Baltimore at 37, I was the number one wide receiver, the number one target. I was the big dog of
covering those games.
Ravens. And Rodney Harrison, me and him would go back. Remember, he was like, is something wrong when the offense is ran through by a 37-year-old wide receiver? I took offense to that. Rodney, I'm sorry. I should not have taken offense. I should have taken it as a compliment. Yeah. But I was so in my feelings and so sensitive and light-skinned that I didn't really see it because I was looking at it. I was hearing his comment and watching his comment on television through the lens of being a victim, right?
I don't want to get older. Like, I don't want,
being a victim of not wanting to admit, yeah, man, it just don't work like it used to.
Yeah. I get it. And I can see it in the role that he's going to play in this offense, right? Because it's going to run through Puka.
Yes.
This type of offense runs through one receiver. We saw kind of maybe there was some, rumblings and thoughts like, Cooper Kupp might be a little upset. Like, man, it's kind of, I passed it over now from me to Puka being the focal point of this offense. So, and now I'm kind of the second option.
So here's
but man,
some of the things I heard.
For that offense.
The torch wasn't passed. I have not talked to Cooper about this. We've talked around it, about it, but these are not his words. I get the sense, and organizations do it all the time. Media-wise, we put it in there, because they're friends. He's passing the torch. Organizations usually don't pass the torch. They give the torch to someone else, and you start to realize it in the damn game.
I totally agree. Listen, the way I said it, I wasn't saying like he walked over to Puka's locker and gave him the torch. It was like they were out at practice and Clubby came into the locker room and took the torch out of his locker and put it in Puka's locker.
He's like, hey man, you see my torch?
Yeah, exactly. So I do think with the way though he still runs routes and the way Stafford plays the position.
Yep.
There's still going to be a productive duo for that offense. Now, what was given to me, and this was kind of put like, because I asked about Davante to a couple of guys, and it was all of them kind of universally, Steve, were like, I don't know if he's a big dog anymore. Like, they didn't want to say it. Like, they didn't want to say, I don't know if he's because they loved his game. Like, I mean, and he was a big dog for how long? Like, forever.
When you talk about crossovers, and you talking about releases, his release game is lethal.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because this is kind of what was said. I'm looking at the notes here. It's like he's still really productive. He's way more dangerous because he still has a route variety in his bag. And he still has more juice than some of the other guys I would put in the Wise Owl category, I was told. More juice than some. And then this is the best part, though, and I wrote this down when he was talking. It was like, but to remember, like, he might be a Wise Owl, but if you put an inferior player up against him, he's still going to rout his ass. Like, and that's still true. I think he might be the top of this group, maybe. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, my next guy is going to shock you because I'm hesitant. Wise Owl, but not on a decline, but it has to do with age. Tyreek Hill.
Interesting.
Because Tyreek is getting older. Numbers were down. Not his fault numbers were down. It's not like he couldn't play. It's the situation in Miami with Tua and how that unfolded. And then also how things unfolded in handling a lot of the stuff that didn't go as planned. And how much of a distraction did that cause the team to start now not looking at the wide receiver room as Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and this guy, right? It is now more of how fast can we really rely on Jalen Waddle to be the focal point of this offense?
Yeah. I had one DB coach tell me, like, is he on the I'm sorry list because I gotta see it like come back. I think he still has it. How's he coming back from the wrist? Like, the wrist is a real thing.
Yes, it is.
And how's he coming back from that? And another one was like, he's been a big dog forever. Like, he completely has, and I still think he can be. I just need to see it. And so one said I would still put him in the big dog category, but I need to see it this year. I also think the circumstances of Miami this year may play a big factor in that. Steve, they could be sellers by the deadline. Like, they could be sellers by the trade deadline. And Tyreek could be possibly on the move. I don't think they want to give up on it, like blowing the whole thing up right now, because I think Mike wants to still see if he can go and win with this group. But it could be an interesting situation for Tyreek. And he's mending some relationships in that locker room a little bit, the way things ended in the season.
And that's what I mean. And so all of that impacts, how you prepare and get for the season. And so that's why I think it has to do with starting prepare for the changing of guard and how those veteran players sometimes handle that.
Yeah, I got an interesting one for Tyreek before we move on that I'm curious about. I live here in Denver, covered the AFC West like crazy. I've spent a million years with the Chiefs and Tyreek's time and developing a relationship with him when he was in KC. And I remember also when Vic Fangio was in Denver, who's one of the best defensive minds we've seen in recent memory, right? He's like, I don't know of a player with a skill set that I've ever seen that equals Tyreek with the stop start, the short area quickness, just that skill set. My point is, he's a wise owl now in what you're saying. Has he been able to adapt? I don't know if he's lost a step or not. He's still fast as all hell.
Look, Tyreek losing a step.
He's still faster than everybody
He's still faster
else.
than 92% of the world.
Yeah. And so my point is, a lot of times when guys rely on physical attributes a lot when they're younger, and he should rely on the speed and the stop start, he'd be a fool not to. Have you seen his game change a little bit as he's gotten older?
I have seen his game change, and it was primarily catching the over routes and underneath, getting the ball in his hands when he was in Kansas City, allowing him free access, getting in space. And then he goes to Coach McDaniels down in Miami, and all of a sudden he's playing a different position. He's still moving around, but it's not underneath routes. It's also getting him moving and stemming inside, stemming outside, getting the corner off his spot, corner turning and running, and oh, by the way, he's running a curl, he's running a deep end, or he's running a comeback. So he's used his speed to threaten the corner in a way that we've known he's always gonna do. But in Miami, he started to show the different ranges of routes he's able to do that, and then catch the football and take off running 100 miles per hour after that. And that's just cheating. That's a cheat code.
Yeah, it's a cheetah code, I would call it. I call it a cheetah code.
Yeah, yes, the cheetah code.
The cheetah code, right? I mean, I think he can play for sure.
I think he can play too.
Yeah.
But I just putting in these categories have me. I love these categories because it's allowing me to explain the why.
Yeah, for sure.
And some of this is circumstances in there, because without those circumstances, it could be interesting. So
life and this game are not played in a vacuum, Steve, and that's why I like our tiers. This isn't just like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. There's reasoning and context behind each of them. You got anybody else in Wise Owl? Okay.
Chris Godwin.
I was waiting to see where you'd put Godwin, and other people were curious where you'd put Godwin.
Yes.
Honestly.
So Chris Godwin, for me, went down to Tampa, got to see and heard some things, and he's rehabbing. However, in his rehabbing, they expect him to come back and be fluid. He turned down that contract in New England. Great contract. But here's what he didn't turn down: familiarity, understanding his role in this offense.
He is coming off the PUP list. Still don't know when he's going to play during the season. He might miss the first several weeks still. But he was kind of that guy. And I remember us doing a show late in the season where we were like the yards after the catch. I think he was leading the NFL in yards after the catch when he got hurt. Yep. And he plays the position really physically. He blocks well. He does everything right that you want a player to do. It's why Mike Vrabel went so aggressive and was willing to pay him so much, is because he wanted all that in his building.
That fits Mike's personality of coaching style. That's the kind of guys that he wants to be in that locker room.
Yeah. And so do you think, and he's had some injuries, and I think it's partially because of the way he plays the position too, and he's beat up a little bit. So you see his game, because this is what we're always curious about. This is why everybody's curious about what Terry McLaurin's going to get with that contract. Oh no, Steve, he's hitting 30. Does Chris Godwin's game continue to translate because of the way he plays it as he gets older?
It will translate. The issue is going to be the durability and will he be on the pitch count.
Yeah.
And that pitch count is, we have to do something to save himself from himself.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And that will affect, right, for fantasy people, that will affect his numbers. That will affect your team, understanding that there will be some games based on how his body is. He may not be out there for 60 plays. He may only have a 20 or 30 play package for him to get him back up to game speed and also have him for later in the season. You know, Mike Evans is going to have, he's older. He's going to have a game or two where he needs a rest, where he's not going to be available.
Yeah.
But that doesn't affect his yards. He's still going to get 1,000 yards. So that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he was their best receiver till he got hurt last year. Yeah. Most productive in terms of catches, yards, things like that. I mean,
and because of that, and they lost that productive receiver, that made them look at, if this were to happen again, who do we want to fill that role and be the next Chris Godwin that can be impactful in the run game, be selfless, and be explosive.
Yeah, that's true. And listen, limiting them like this, who knows what they'll be in December? It's all three, you know.
You know what it'll be? Available. And that's where a guy becomes problematic and keep a defensive coordinator up at night.
Okay, Steve, that's done. We're done with I'm sorry. We're done with One Trick Pony. We're done with Wise Owls. 1, 2, 3. Now, we are going to be moving on to the Young Pups. This one's going to be big. This one's going to be a big, big, big episode because we got a lot to talk about with the Young Pups. Stay tuned for that.
There are times where you're in the shower and there's been conversations going on. Yes. Okay. Like, hey, bro, that pass, or how about that practice? I've always been the athletes where you're just showering. The nudity, all that stuff, it's not there. You're just doing your job. You just happen to be continuing your job into the shower. Now, y'all are not facing each other talking, so it's like, I'm over here in this shower, I'm over there in that shower. That's what the locker room is no holds bars. Everybody gets to talk unfiltered, and to some degree, there's no judgment.
This is unfiltered, yeah.
How guys get in trouble with that is when there's no judgment, no filter, you start complaining about people in a way that gets back to them, and it doesn't go well.
Okay.
And that's where the butting heads comes in.
Yeah, and hopefully that's not happening. Well, I didn't know we were going to go down this down the drain here.